what's good, Commanders fans? Quick video today. Just wanted to give you guys an update on the offensive coordinator search and comp picks and Mel Kiper's mock draft. But before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Prize Picks. If you haven't signed up for Prize Picks, it's a fantasy app. You just pick over and unders on each player. Last night, Kyle Kuzma, my guy, went off for 33 points. So if you picked the over on him, you definitely made some money for sure. So click the link down below in the description box. Promo code is real edyoliver. First time users, you sign up, you get your deposit matched up to $100, 100%. So, all right, let's start off with Anthony Lynn. He did coach with currently he's the assistant head coach with the 49ers and running backs coach. The Commanders have requested to interview him. So he could still decline the interview. We saw Jim Caldwell decline the interview. So he definitely could decline the interview. And he is with Kyle Shanahan, who is the head coach, obviously, with the 49ers. You know, there's some bad blood with the Commanders. But, well, really not with the Commanders, but with Dan Snyder and the whole thing with not training Kirk Cousins and all that, you know, all that stuff, and Trent Williams or whatever. But we actually, never mind. That doesn't matter anymore because we did do a deal with the Niners. So this regime, it doesn't really matter. So I don't think Kyle Shanahan would put a bad word with Anthony Lynn at all, not to interview with us. But it makes sense because Anthony Lynn has been a running back coach. You know, he was fired by the Chargers, parted ways / fired with the Lions. He was offensive coordinator with the Lions, didn't work out. And the Lions they weren't a good team last year. This year they're a better team for sure. They got a lot of weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown. They had Amon-Ra St. Brown with when Anthony Lynn was there. Jared Goff had a better year this year. DeAndre Swift. Who's the wide receiver? Jameson Williams. And then they got another wide receiver, DJ Chark, this year. So they got more weapons this year rather compared to what they had last year. But Anthony Lynn has done a good job. Everywhere he's been, he's done a good job running the football. If Martin Mayhew and Ron Rivera really if they want to run the football, if they want to be a run-first team, you know, the 2-to-1 pass ratio, which I don't think. I think what they say got to exaggerate a little bit, but they do want to play smash mouth football. They are old school minded kind of guys, and they do want to run the football, and that's why they fired Scott Turner, because they felt like Brian Robinson didn't get the ball enough, especially in the red zone when we needed to score. You know, they felt like, you know, especially that Giants game on Sunday Night Football. That's where they felt like Brian Robinson definitely should have got the football more. So you look at the numbers for Anthony Lynn as a running backs coach or assistant head coach. You look at the Bills. And their running backs, the Bills led the NFL in rushing yards with 2,432 rushing yards in 2015 and 2,630 in 2016. They led the league in rushing touchdowns with 19 in 2015, and they didn't lead the league, but they had 19 rushing touchdowns in 2015 and 29 in 2016. Yards per carry, 4.8 in 2015 and 5.3 yards per carry in 2016 as well. He was an okay coach with the Chargers. He got fired because of late game situations and clock management, stuff like Ron Rivera really struggles with. But Anthony Lynn, the Chargers were 12-14. Of course, he coached Justin Herbert when Justin Herbert had a good season in his rookie year. Anthony Lynn also helped DeAndre Swift put up good numbers, career highs in carries 151 and rushing yards of 617, while finishing with the second most receptions on the team in 62. And also Anthony Lynn coached Austin Eckler, who is a dual threat running back who can catch out the backfield and run, of course. Kind of like what we got with Antonio Gibson, who's a good pass catcher and a good runner at the same time. So I think Anthony Lynn, if he was a running backs coach here, I would definitely sign him up for sure. I think he could be okay as an offensive coordinator. You know, we'll see. He has called plays. He's been a head coach before in the league. But he did get fired with the Lions. It didn't work out. They had to part ways. So is it a slam dunk hire? I wouldn't say that, but I think it would be a solid hire. I don't think it would be a bad hire. Charles London from the Falcons actually intrigues me. I'm kind of interested in him because I love the way that the Falcons ran the football. And if Ron and Marty really want to hone in on running the football, I'm not mad at it. You know, if they really want to, I know we got weapons with Terry, Jahan, and Curtis. And we can definitely throw the ball downfield with Sam Howell. He has a strong arm, but I do kind of like that RPO style, zone read style, where we can make Sam into a dual threat quarterback. And I think a guy like Charles London, you see what he did with Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota, he was doing okay. Like he was killing us when Marcus Mariota was running the football against us. So, but Anthony Lynn, a leader of men, good person, all that. Has had success as a head coach and success as a running back coach, and he was an interim head coach when Rex Ryan got fired as well. He coached with the Dallas Cowboys when Julius Jones finished with 993 rushing yards and a career high 1,084 rushing yards. Everywhere Anthony Lynn has been, he's had some sort of success. Jacksonville, Fred Taylor, he had 1,224 rushing yards. So everywhere he's been, he's had some sort of success. So I mean, he has a good resume. He has a good resume. I personally, I don't think he's going to end up being the. I don't feel like he's going to end up being the offensive coordinator. The thing is, Albert Breer came out with an article, a report, saying that the belief around the league is that Ken Zampese is the front runner to be the offensive coordinator. Ken Zampese, when he was offensive coordinator for the Bengals, he was pretty darn bad. He got fired after 2 games, I want to say, in like 2017. As a quarterbacks coach, Ken Zampese was fine. Andy Dalton, Carson Palmer, Baker Mayfield, his rookie year was good. But as an offensive coordinator, he definitely struggled. And they didn't even score a touchdown in the first 2 games of the season, and they just fired him. So I'm a little concerned if we do hire Ken Zampese as the offensive coordinator. All right, so about the comp picks, I think PFF or Over the Cap, they came up with the comp pick projections. They said we're going to get a 3rd round pick for Brandon Sheriff, and we're going to get a 6th round pick for Tim Settle. So that's good news right there. If that does happen, which it probably will, we will have 8 draft picks. We'll have pick 16 in the 1st round, pick 48 in the 2nd round, pick 98 for the comp pick for Brandon Sheriff, pick 118 in the 4th round, pick 151 in the 5th round, and then 2 comp picks. We'll have the comp pick for Tim Settle. So we'll have 2 picks in the 6th round, and then 1 pick in the 7th round, 235. So 8 picks is not bad, man. We got to use them. We got to use them for sure. I don't want to trade for a quarterback. I just want to use our picks, draft talent, get offensive line, get at least 2 offensive linemen, get a linebacker. We don't need a wide receiver. I would get a tight end. Those are the positions of need. We need a corner, linebacker, of course, any lineman, any position in the offensive line, tackle, guard, even a center with Chase Rouillet. I don't know if I would bring him back, to be honest with you. So offensive line, corner, linebacker, tight end. Those are the positions of need for me for sure. So yeah, tight end, linebacker, any offensive lineman, and corner for sure. And if we do draft a quarterback, I'm not mad at that either. Pick 16, I don't know, we'll see. But we'll move on to Mel Kiper, his mock draft of who he had as picking. So he has us getting offensive tackle Broderick Jones out of Georgia. So I'll read the write-up for Broderick Jones from Mel Kiper. So I like this pick. Any offensive lineman, I like it. I'm down with it 110%. So Mel Kiper writes, he says, here's yet another team with quarterback issues as the Commanders traded for Carson Wentz last offseason. He had Anthony Richardson going at pick 9 to the Carolina Panthers. So I know a lot of people like Anthony Richardson. A lot of people are mixed on him, saying he's a raw prospect. But like I said, if we do bring in a coach that wants to do RPOs and zone reads and tailor an offense around Anthony Richardson as a project, then maybe we could bring him in. But I honestly, I don't know if I would pick him at pick 16. If he fell that low, it's something to think about for sure. But and let him and Sam Howell compete and see what happens there. But Mel Kiper says last offseason, which cost them their 3rd rounder this year, but turned back to Taylor Heinicke down the stretch. Neither is likely to be their week 1 starter. I wonder whether they will be players in the veteran signal caller market and bring in someone to compete with Sam Howell. No matter who is playing quarterback, though, they have to improve along the offensive line. Broderick Jones is a 310-pound mauler who didn't allow a single sack as the Bulldogs left tackle in 2022. I wouldn't be shocked if he went in the top 10. So Broderick Jones, I'm fine with that pick. I would take a left tackle, right tackle, guard, center, whatever offensive lineman. I'm 100% fine with it. I really am. I'm 100% fine with attacking the offensive line in the draft. Even if it's in the 1st round, I really don't mind it at all. So Broderick Jones, I think you would probably have to release Charles Leno, and that dead cap money or the money that you get from releasing Charles Leno, you use that money on getting some guards, getting some interior help, because you got to release Andrew Norwell, and I would definitely not bring back Trey Turner. So you put Broderick Jones at left tackle, sign 2 guards. You can leave Sam Cosmi at right tackle, or you want to have Cornelius Lucas at right tackle and then Cosmi at guard. I'm fine with that. Cut Chase Rouillet, use the money to find another center as well, or draft another center. I'm fine with that too. I don't like starting rookies at left tackle, but I feel like it's going to be a development year for Sam Howell. So we definitely got to protect him, and we got to find an answer at the left tackle position. I like Charles Leno, but the year just didn't end well for him. So if we keep him, I'm not mad at it. And you think about Charles Leno when he was at the Bears, he got released, and they drafted Tevin Jenkins to replace Charles Leno at the left tackle spot. So it could be the same scenario, deja vu for Charles Leno. So Broderick Jones, If we sign him, if we draft him at pick 16, played for Georgia, national champ, definitely wouldn't mind that at all. Big hog at left tackle. So, all right, you guys, I'll probably be coming up with a video tomorrow as well, talking about tight ends. I will be on my guy Pedro Smith's channel tonight at 8 o'clock for about an hour talking Commanders football. The Wizards are on a 4-game win streak, man. Look out, man. I don't think they're going to make the play. We'll see if they make the playoffs. I think they'll make the play-in. We'll see. But they're playing good basketball right now. All right, guys. Hail the Commanders. And the Commanders cruise is now canceled if you guys were going on that. So that's unfortunate news. All right, y'all. Hail the Commanders. Peace.